No, we went off to Europe afterwards, and then to America, and finished off in Japan, and that took us round to the end of May. So we were working really hard, just continuing taking the show around the world.
Yeah, this time we wanted to try and do it a bit different. We wanted to use a different approach to recording. Previous times we've written entire albums inside the studio, so this time we wanted to write a bit in a rehearsal room, then go into my studio and record the song as far as we wanted to take it, then go back into the recording studio and write something else, and keep breaking it up a bit. It just makes it more interesting for us. And then at the end of a 3 or 4 month period, we'd have enough material to go in and actually finish the album. We finished it in a different studio, in Mayfair Studios, where we went 48 track.
Well, it's not like it's been a shock to us or anything to do the album on our own. We've always felt that every single record we've done, although we've worked with other people, we've maintained the final control. It's always been up to us in the end as to whether we keep anything. It's final word has been ours. We liked having other people around because it's easy to bounce ideas off of someone. And when we did this one, it just happened. I mean, there was no calculated philosophy behind it. We didn't think, okay, this is the one we do by ourselves. It just worked out that way. We simply couldn't think of a person we wanted around for this one. We thought, let's not make an issue of it, let's not push it, we'll just do it ourselves. And we quite got into the idea of doing that. And as far as the sound of it goes, it's a very intangible thing. You have a rough impression of the areas you want to try and succeed in, or things you want to steer clear of, that you remember you learned from having done the last record. Your taste changes in between doing albums, so you really have to just start doing it and see which way it wants to go by itself, and then follow that.
They're sort of half done in the way that it's nearly all the music's nearly all completed when we go in, and the lyrics tend to come at various points really. So it's a bit half and half really.
We've done it in quite a different ways. You can follow the progress really through the 4 albums. The Vienna album was taken out and played live a lot, and we put that down very quickly in 3 weeks, in fact. The second one, we decided that we'd go off and do it in the studio out there for 3 months. It took us actually back at Connie's place. So that really was more of a studio album. It was quite a...
From one extreme to the other.
Yeah, it was a bit like that, from one extreme to the other. I think we balanced it out a bit more. So Quartet was more rehearsed. That's the way George preferred, George Martin, it's quite rehearsed really, the whole thing. And I think we've got quite a happy medium on this album. That's why this it's quite a confident album, quite a strong album, because I think we've hit a happy medium through the experience,
We started off with the idea of a plastic sleeve, but the only people that made a plastic that was actually practical to make sleeves out of was 3M in America, and they basically said that we weren't allowed to use their plastic, and they wouldn't sell it to us. So we had to come up with an alternative sleeve, and then what's his name? That bloke, Otto.
Is it Otto Wagner?
Yeah, Otto Wagner, and it was just basically the sort of basic theme came from that. And we just wanted to make a special sleeve for just a special sleeve.
We don't actually get in designers to put the ideas together for you. We come up with the ideas, and you get in a professional engineering team, you know, sort of music business engineering team to put your ideas together for you. Although, I mean, if we did it, would fall apart in, you know, 2 days. But yeah, we come up with the ideas and the designs. And this time round, we wanted to do something very different from the Quartet tour, which was a very sort of clean, sort of squeaky clean almost. Everything was grey, and you couldn't see any leads anywhere, and it was all very neat. You couldn't see any lamps. And this time we're doing the exact opposite. We're going for a sort of organised mess. It's lots of textures more than anything. It's netting and metal and rubber. I think it's a bit of a fetish, really. I think it's quite interesting.
It's just really through taking the show, you know, just like this country, it's the same. We try and keep it the same in other countries. We tour a lot, really, to get that success. And to relate back to a band developing, the people develop into the band.
We also we actually keep quite a lot of control over what goes out abroad, and we don't let, you know, anything sort of substandard come out at all. I think it's just basically people sort of understand that what we do has got a certain quality to it, and it never changes. I just think we've sort of strengthened our following over the many years.
And then they send us money.
I think it was very important for Quartet. MTV just picked up on a couple of the songs and liked the videos.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you can get your video shown like 3-4 times every day over a 24-hour period is quite healthy. I mean, I think half the population of America have now got cable television and MTV, so it seems a lot stronger visually over there, instead of just hearing the same old music on the radio that they've heard for the last 15 years in America. MTV has made the radio stations actually change their minds about music and wake up to the fact that there's something else happening outside their own territory. And I mean, MTV, I think a lot of British bands owe their success to the fact that they can be seen coast to coast in America every day.
It seemed very impossible when we worked the clubs a lot over there to actually break through. Really quite frustrating, just with the radio situation.
Which MTV has really broken the monopoly on.
Have we?
It really is hard. You can't deny the fact that, particularly since we've been doing this album right in London, I'm sure we can't deny the fact that the changing scenes around you do tend to affect you. But I mean,
I think
not badly. We just get on with it.
Yeah, we just do. I mean, things like fashion and stuff like that, it's interesting, but we just don't let it dictate to us. It's like the way when certain instruments become fashionable and all the rest of it. I think you get fashionable sleeves, you know, and everything's sort of fashionable. We just don't. We just do exactly what we want to do all the time. And therefore we don't really get that we get influenced internally, but the band as a whole doesn't get influenced by sort of the fashionable side of it, anything really, I don't think.
I think in order for any one band to be sort of fashionable all the time, you'd have to be some sort of chameleon, you know, and just put on a new
I get it.
Yeah, you get it. And you put on a new outfit, you know, every 2 weeks to look. I mean, the fashion's something you just go into a high street shop and buy. You know, a sense of style is something that you've either got or you haven't.